Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I am finally doing a review on Ampersand Pastelbord. Whenever I do my time-lapse drawings, people are always asking me, how do you get them to look so vibrant? Like, what paper are you using? And I'm just like, it's a pastel board. I discovered Pastelbord because I had just started trying soft pastels. I had like some Derwent pencils and I purchased pastel paper to use them on. I didn't like it. I didn't like the paper. To me it felt like construction paper and it was too fuzzy and it just wasn't what I was expecting. And I was actually able to make my work look the way I wanted it to, but I still was not feeling the paper. So I just started Google searching canvas for pastel. Because I wanted my pastel paintings to look like paintings. Like I wanted them to have like an oil paint kind of feel. So I googled a canvas for pastels and Ampersand Pastelbord was like the first thing that came up. So before I purchased it, I wanted to just like see if there were any reviews on it, like check it out, see if people like it. And it was really hard to find like people talking about it. I searched on YouTube and Google and I think I was able to find one or two. I found one time-lapse painting that was done on Pastelbord. It was really good. I loved it. And it had exactly the kind of look that I wanted from my work. And also found like a kind of a review of it, but it was just showing like how you could use pastels dry, you could use them wet. Which you can't do on pastel paper, but it didn't really talk about the board. So I was like, I'm just gonna get some and just try it out. So that's what I did. I loved it. I've been using it ever since. I haven't touched that Canson pastel paper. So I got the pastel boards, and if you look at all of my YouTube videos in 2017, with the exception of the first two pastel drawings, the Laurent and the Beyonce one, all of my pastel pieces have been done on this board. So now I'm just going to show you it and talk to you about it a little bit. This is the pastel board. It's still wrapped up. This is a 12 by 16. I generally use 12 by 16 and 16 by 20. And I also have some 9 by 12s. That's what I did, like the Grinch and Elmo on. But you know, I'm pretty much a large scale portrait artist. So I do 12 by 16 and 16 by 20. And this is the back of it. Kind of looks like the back of a chalkboard. The texture to me is kind of like concrete, but a little bit softer. It's like really grainy and hard. Like, you hear that? So the texture is kind of like pumicey, if that makes sense. Like, you can scrape it, it's scrapable. To me, the advantages to using Pastelbord over pastel paper. For one, like I said already, the texture. The fact that it is so grainy and rough or whatever it to be, it allows you to add more layers. And the more layers you have, the smoother your painting will come out. And there's still texture in the pastel painting, but it's very, very smooth and oil paint-like. Another thing is it holds the pastel a lot better because of this texture. Like it really grabs onto it. So there is obviously gonna be some residue, and like I'm doing this every 2 minutes when I'm drawing, but it holds way, like I would say 5 times better than paper holds a pastel. And another thing also is framing. Whenever people go to frame their pastel paintings, they always have to like put it up on a board first. Whenever you use paper, you have to attach it to a board before you can frame it. So obviously with the pastel board, your painting is already on the board, so that just makes it so that you have less steps when it comes to framing, which also equals less expenses, and you know. So I'm just gonna show you an example of what my pastel painting looked like on the paper versus what it looked like on the pastel board, and just show you some of my other work that I did in 2017. All of it was done on Ampersand Pastelbord. And as you can see, it still has just as much detail as all of my other work, but it has more of this smooth look, and it also transfers well to me, transfers better to like apparel. If you like to print your artwork on things like phone cases and bags and all of that stuff, it transfers so much better to me than if you were to do it on paper. So now I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you use pastel pencils and Pastel Stix on the pastel board. So here you can see me using the Pastel Stix. I'll link those in the description box below. And it's the first layer that I'm putting down, but they're really pigmented and the powder is really thick. And when I blend it with the sponge, it still has such a solid appearance, even with just one layer, but it's actually really light coverage because I'm going to be able to go over it with 2 more layers of the same pastel stick, and it's going to give me the same vibrant look, and it's going to grab onto the board just as well. The sponge blends it into the board really lightly, and using my finger blends it into the board a little more. But even when I use my finger to blend, it isn't too much. Like, I've been able to add probably 20 plus layers on a face before. And here's an example of what the pencils look like on the board. They're not as pigmented as the sticks, but they still have such vibrant color. They still pop. It's still really solid. I did my first 5 or 6 paintings using pencils only, so with the exception of the background. So you can go back and look at those examples to see just how awesome they really work on this pastel board. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I influenced some people to go out and buy some. If you would like to purchase some Ampersand pastel board, they have multiple colors. They have white, gray, I think they have tan. They have a few colors. I'll have some links in my description box for you to go and get those or order them from Dick Blick. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be a time lapse video. I promise. Okay. Thanks guys. Bye. And it doesn't look like it would be hard to do, but for some reason I just seriously struggled with it, and I had to draw and like rework and reshade his nose like 30 times. I felt like the shape of his face I couldn't get right, and his specifically down by his jaw and his chin. And I also feel like